Imagine a quiet Bavarian farm surrounded by dense forests and snow-covered fields. In the stillness of the night, strange noises echo from the attic. Footsteps appear in the snow, leading to the house. But none leave. Days later, the horrifying truth emerges. A family of 6, brutally murdered. Their killer, never found. This is the story of Hinterkaifeck, Germany's darkest secret. A mystery that still haunts us over a century later. On the night of March 31st, 1922, in the quiet countryside of Bavaria, Germany, 6 members of the Gruber Gabriel family were savagely murdered. The victims included Andreas Gruber, 63, his wife Cecilia, 72, their widowed daughter Victoria Gabriel, 35, Victoria's 2 young children, Cecilia, 7, and Joseph, 2, and the family's new maid, Maria Baumgartner, who had only arrived that very day. The killer struck each victim with a mattock, a farming tool, inflicting fatal blows to the head. 4 bodies were found in the barn, gruesomely stacked and covered with straw. Inside the house, little Joseph and Maria were discovered, murdered in their beds. The brutality shocked investigators. But what was even more disturbing was the behavior of the murderer. In the days before the murders, Andreas Gruber had reported strange occurrences. Footsteps in the snow leading to the house, but none leaving. Unexplained noises in the attic, missing keys, and a mysterious newspaper appearing on the property. Despite these ominous signs, the family carried on with their daily lives, unaware of the tragedy looming over them. When news of the Hinterkaifeck murders spread, it sent shockwaves across Germany. Rural communities, especially in Bavaria, were gripped by fear. If such a horrific crime could happen in the quiet isolation of Hinterkaifeck, could it happen anywhere? The crime became a cultural obsession. Newspapers printed sensational headlines. Locals whispered about dark forces at play. Some claimed the farm was cursed. Others speculated about vengeful neighbors or sinister cults. The case disrupted the region's sense of safety, forever changing how people viewed their once peaceful countryside. Despite an exhaustive investigation, no one was ever arrested. Over 100 people were questioned, including neighbors, vagrants, and family acquaintances. But the evidence was inconclusive. Investigators discovered that the killer had stayed on the farm for several days after the murders, feeding the livestock, eating the family's food, and even lighting fires in the hearth. Lorenz Schlittenbauer, a neighbor and rumored lover of Victoria. His suspicious behavior and personal disputes with the family made him a prime suspect. A passing stranger. The farm's isolated location and proximity to a main road suggested the possibility of an opportunistic killer. Dark rituals, rumors of occult practices, and ghostly apparitions added an eerie layer to the case. To this day, no concrete evidence has pointed to a definitive perpetrator. The case remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in German history. The Hinterkaifeck murders left a psychological scar on the community. For many, the crime represented a loss of innocence, proving that evil could strike even the most secluded corners of the world. It also sparked conversations about collective trauma and the human need for closure. The lingering questions about Hinterkaifeck. Who did it? Why? Could it have been prevented? Haunt us because they mirror our own fears of the unknown. Over the years, the Hinterkaifeck murders have inspired books, films, and documentaries. True crime enthusiasts continue to analyze the case, hoping to uncover new clues. The story of Hinterkaifeck endures not just because of its brutality, but because it taps into something universal: our fear of the unseen, our fascination with the macabre, and our relentless pursuit of truth. A century has passed since the Hinterkaifeck murders, yet the mystery remains unsolved. The snow has long melted, the farmhouse is gone, but the questions linger in the cold Bavarian air. Who could commit such a heinous act? And why did they vanish without a trace? Perhaps some mysteries are destined to remain in the shadows, leaving us to wonder, to fear, and to never forget.